Good morning from Bali, everyone. It's Hanifa Menon from hearthealthbrainhealth.com, encouraging healthy grieving and mindful actions. Today, I wanted to talk a little bit about public service, and you may know that in Bali, there is a big industry of hospitality. So hospitality is actually focused on quite a bit. There's so many hotels here. There's so many places of service, and in terms of this, of course, places of service meaning it could be restaurants, could be hotels, could be places to stay, but it is very service oriented. And of course, I like this idea of serving, and came across a few quotations that I thought I'd share with you to try to share some of the contemplative time I've been having with your mind, and see how it resonates for you. So this first quotation that I came across said, "Public servants should be focused on serving the public, not any special interest group, and good governance should be an expectation, not an exception." And this is by Abigail Spanberger. And I thought this was so fitting because in Ontario, I used to see a lot of clients that came from the public service sector. So over in Ontario, there's a broad group called OPSU, and it's the Ontario Public Service Union. And it was so wonderful to work with all of these people that were helping from a government level, people in Ontario. And again, this would include things like healthcare and education and road repairs and all sorts of different things that really keep our public safety, our health, our life good. And then here in Bali, I see very much in terms of the hospitality world. And in terms of hospitality, I thought, isn't it interesting that even in hospitality, I think of this as a public service because there's so many people that come to Bali to visit on vacations and maybe tourism and sometimes for work. But as this is happening, unless it is welcomed by Bali, it's not a service that is not rendered. If it wasn't welcomed, it would not be a good service for people that are visiting, and it wouldn't be a good flow of energy. And a good flow of energy always comes from giving something, a kindness, a hospitality, a courtesy, a consideration to another. And so again, whether we're working in the public sector that we would think of in Canada or North America or maybe most of the world, in terms of police officers, healthcare staff, all that sort of idea, when we think of that as a public service, I wanted today to remember that, we're all public servants, aren't we? Because the energy that we carry around with us in our own lives, which then comes into our workplaces, and I'm sorry, it's very, very hot here, but this service of kindness, consideration in the thoughts and our words and our actions, of course it flows through ourselves, but then it flows into the environment around us. And no matter what work we're doing, if we're doing it with that spirit of service, it's a beautiful energy to share with the world. And then I thought, okay, so who do we serve? And we can serve the people that life brings our way. And oftentimes, this is an aspect that people forget, that not only is it in my workplace of how I speak to people, but is it in my daily encounters with people? Am I friendly? Am I kind? Am I considerate? Am I compassionate? Am I the best of this form? Best of this form, this body, this mind, the things that come through this body and mind would be the best of this form, utilizing a higher energy flowing through me too. And this is what all of us have. This is what all of us can do. But oftentimes, people will give their best to a particular situation, not another. So some, and I'll say maybe many, might give the best into the workplace, and at home might not be the best. And others do it the opposite way. So the others would be the best, most considerate family member, and then at work really not easy to get along with. And if we are truly being true to ourselves and our best, it wouldn't matter where we are to be our best. And this takes a bit of personal reflection too, because am I my best at my workplace? Because, well, the boss is giving me a paycheck. Am I the best in hospitality? Because, yeah, those people are giving me my paycheck. And the reason this has come up right now, just for you to know why this has been stimulated, is because I was at this lovely hotel experience the other day, and I met a number of staff. I met a number of visitors to the hotel too. And there's something about each. So whether it was the visitors that were traveling or whether it was the staff, there's something special about an energy that really cares or really is open, is really kind and considerate. There's something about that energy that feels very different. And I had the pleasure of experiencing that really caring, considerate energy from a few people there. And again, this is not every staff member and it's not every person that I met that was visiting, but I will say that it was wonderful to experience it from the majority of people in general in that experience. So this quotation comes from this idea. And so the next quotation is, accept the things to which fate binds you and love the people with whom fate brings you together, but do so with all your heart. And this is what I want to encourage us to do, that again, even in that experience, I could see that some people were doing things with all their heart and others were just getting through the day or just getting to breakfast or just getting to their work that they had to get to. So all of these things, it's not really with heart. It's kind of with the mind of, I need to do this. And okay, I'm speaking with you politely, but it's with the to-do list in the mind. And that was very clear too. And we do this everywhere in the world. But imagine if everything that we were doing, every interaction that we were having was with our heart. It's a very different experience, both for ourselves and the people that we affect. And then finally, I thought I'd end with this quotation, which I loved and I'm hoping will help you in your reflective time after this video. This quotation says, it's by Peter Schaefer, first of all. It says, tell me, before you call us servants, who served whom? And who, I wonder, in your generations will immortalize you? So again, tell me, before you call us servants, who served whom? And who, I wonder, in your generations will immortalize you? And this is so profound, I find. It's, again, when I look at that experience that I had at the hotel, I can say that I was so touched with how people were interacting with me from their hearts. And I feel that it was a mutual interaction this way because I was communicating with others with my heart too. And then when we look at it, don't those lines blur of who served whom? We don't say, well, I really helped that person, or that's my job and I did a great job, or I'm such a kind person and that's why I was able to share this way. It's this flow of energy that goes back and forth. And when people are doing things with their heart, this flow of energy can be stimulated and experienced. And it does flow through the world, not just this one particular experience. It flows through to affect others too. And this is what I wish for all of us. And I hope that for 5 minutes after this video, you contemplate this idea or reflect on it and see in any interaction who is serving whom. And I hope today you are the receiver and the giver of good, kind, compassionate service to those that you interact with. I wish you a fabulous day ahead, and I hope you remember, transform your mind and transform your life. Have a great day, everyone.